If you're a healthcare professional who is ready to start your own practice, you're in the right place. In this video, I'm going to reveal a 5-step process to starting and growing your practice the right way. Now, over the past few years, I've helped hundreds of healthcare professionals to start and grow their business to multiple 6 figures. And in this video, I'm going to break down for you the exact science, the exact formula that they've followed and that I've followed to be able to do so. Now, the very first thing that you have to understand about starting your own practice is this. There is a lot of information and a lot of misinformation that's out there. Just like in the health and wellness space, there is a lot of information that is actually either not true or just simply doesn't work anymore like it used to in the past. And so the very first thing, the first step you want to make sure you have is the fundamentals and foundations of business dialed in. There are many things that honestly don't even matter anymore that most people spend a lot of time on. A clear example is a website. Most people that we speak to have been either developing their own website or still building it for months, if not years. And those who have had a website built out after about a year of having it in place still don't have any success and don't have any clients. And so I'm not saying that a website is a bad thing to have, but it's not the only thing and it shouldn't be done in the wrong order. So the very first thing you want to do is, like I mentioned, have your business foundations in place, the business basics. You want to make sure that you have your LLC. You want to open up a business bank account. That way you can separate your personal and business finances. You can do these things in less than a week, okay? Now, with that in mind, there are going to be some things like your own personal or professional liability insurance that you'll want to have in place early on. And you also want to make sure that you have a contract in place for you and your clients. Now, here's the thing about contracts. Our attorney recommended that you can actually get your first client first and use the funds of that first client to then purchase your contracts and start to reinvest into your business. So the main thing that you have to learn to do when you're starting out is how to get clients, because when you learn how to get clients, everything else is going to become easier. You're going to be able to use those funds to reinvest into your business, to pay someone to build your website the right way, to be able to run paid advertising, right? These are all things that are great to do, but not great to do in the beginning. So number one, we want to have the right business foundations in place. Number two, we want to make sure that in this day and age, we are starting to be very specific with the clientele that we want to work with. There is, as you can imagine, and as you see, a lot of noise out there online in the social media space. And so if you talk to everyone and attempt to talk to everyone as a generalist, you're going to end up talking to no one. So we want to make sure that we have a message to market match. I see a lot of people, and you might have seen this too, maybe it's you, and that's okay. We all make this mistake, that put out a lot of content. They're putting stuff out there, but they're getting little to no engagement. They're getting crickets. And the reason that is that their message is not connecting and resonating with their market. So we have to make sure that number one, you're in the right market. Number two, you're speaking to that market and speaking to them in a way that resonates with them, where now they're interested in what you have to say and what you have to offer. And once we've dialed in your message to market match, what's going to happen is you're going to have a lot more interest, a lot more engagement, and you're going to have your ideal dream clients reaching out to work with you instead of you having to constantly chase them. Okay, so that's number two. We call this the niche navigator. And the very first thing we have to make sure that happens there is that you are in alignment with your niche. And there's a few questions like, are you passionate about the people you're working with? Have you been able to get them results? And do you feel good about getting them results? Is there a big need, a problem that needs to be solved? And are these people congregating? Are they congregating in communities and different groups where you can actually find them and speak to them and show them how you can help them? That's step number two. Very important. we miss that, everything else is not going to work, okay? Number 3, we want to make sure that you have the proper packaging and pricing structure. Now, just saying that you help people lose weight and that you have a nutrition coaching program is not going to cut it anymore. We need to have what we call an irresistible offer. An irresistible offer is how you actually package the service that you provide. Now, with this system, we need to make sure that people realize that it is different from what they've tried before, okay? Now, at the same time, I know this might be a little bit counterintuitive. At the same time, it must be different than what people have tried before, but it also must be very clear, simple, and detailed. So you have to have a process that takes people from point A to point B that's very simple and clear to follow. That's also something that people haven't tried before. So we want to make sure that your packaging is dialed in and it's structured in a way that doesn't require a lot of your time. That's a big issue, right? As healthcare professionals, we strongly tie our value to our time, and so we end up trading our time for money. And initially, you may have to do that while you get some traction, get some clients, and get a reputation. Over time, we need to structure our packages, programs, and services in a way that doesn't require as much of you, so you can still help a lot of people, but in a lot less time. So step number 3 is making sure that we're going through a system of creating our packages and programs and pricing them appropriately for the stage of business that you're in. Hey, sorry to interrupt, but if you haven't heard the news, we have launched our Healthcare Business Academy product this week. And if you're watching this video right now, it means that you potentially have the opportunity to get it for 50% off, because at the end of this week, it's going up and it's doubling in price. Now, Healthcare Business Academy is literally over 100 modules, 50 plus hours of some of the best training that we have online, covering everything you need to know about starting and growing your healthcare business. We give you our own highly converting website templates, copy and paste. You can learn how to actually install a marketing system that attracts your dream clients the right way. We show you the different softwares that we use in our own companies and the ones that you definitely do not need. We give you step-by-step instruction on how to actually create scalable programs like courses and hybrid programs that don't actually require more of your time, and teach you how to price them appropriately. We break down legal protection, business finances to secure your future, and personal health insurance to make sure you and your family are taken care of. And we even share with you how we're able to run $1 million business in only a few hours per week, and so much more. So if you want to learn a little bit more about it, there's going to be a link in the description below where you can click on it and get access to a page that will cover everything that's included and how you can get your hands on it for 50% off. Now, as you start to progress in business, you can start to offer what we call scalable programs. These are programs and services that don't require any or very little fulfillment on your end. Examples of this are courses, hybrid programs, group programs, and some lower ticket offers like ebooks, guides, mini courses, etc. Okay? Step number 4, once you've got your business foundations in place, you're legally protected, you feel good about the structure of your business, then you know who you're speaking to, you know who you're helping, you know who you're creating these products and programs and services for, and you can clearly explain it to a potential client. Only then can we go ahead and start to market and start to let people know about your stuff. And marketing, overall, very simple. The concept is simple, okay? It's essentially, how do we get more people to know that you exist? How do we get those people to know that you have solutions to their problems? And how do we get them raising their hands saying, hey, you, I'm interested in what you have to offer. Can I learn more? So when it comes to marketing, it's going to fall flat and on deaf ears if the messaging isn't structured correctly. And there is a science to this, okay? And this is true whether you are marketing online using social media, different social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, doesn't matter, any platform. It's also true if you're preferring to do more in-person, brick and mortar, local networking, and community outreach. Okay, we have to have those pieces in place first and feel confident about it to then go ahead and put ourselves out there to tell people about it. Okay, so marketing is key. And we want to make sure that we start with organic strategies, okay? Organic strategies where you start to master your marketing message. You start to validate that what you're putting out there is what people want, because when people show interest in what you have to say and what you have to offer organically, then and only then can we start to add some fuel to the fire with some paid advertising, where we're actually paying money to companies like Facebook to run and put your content in front of more and more people that you can serve. Okay, so that's step number 4 is marketing. Most people shy away from it, but it's the only way people know that you exist. You can be the best healthcare professional on the planet, but if no one knows you exist, then it doesn't matter. You can't help anyone. Okay? Now, number 5, once you have people's interests, we then have to get them to actually invest in working with you. Let me ask you this. Have you ever had people in your life, family, friends, people that have asked you for advice and you've given them that advice? And what do they typically do with it? That's right. They typically don't do anything with it. Why? Because people who pay attention. And so we have to understand that the transformation that you are providing for these people only happens after the transaction. And so you have to get very comfortable with what we call effortless enrollments. How do we get people to actually want to invest in your services and happily do it? And this is a process that's going to require a bit more hand-holding and scripting to make sure that it feels and sounds authentic to you. Every single one of us are very different. The way I say something might be very different from how you say something, and it needs to feel like you. It needs to sound like you. You need to be comfortable with these conversations. And so the process of effortless enrollments is literally the process of behavior change. It's what you do with your clients. It's how you help people transform their health. The only thing now is that we're structuring it in a way that gets people to realize that they need help and that they need your help. And we have to structure it in a way where people see the value in investing in their health through you. And so that's step number 5 is the effortless enrollment, or what we call sales. Okay, and how we do it in an authentic way, because that is the only way that you're ultimately going to be able to help people have a big impact and also make some money. Okay, so that is the 5-step process that you must follow in order, in the right sequence, in order to build a successful practice. Now, if you like this video and you want more, go ahead and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button down below. We're going to be putting out more content like this just for you.